Hello there. This is Lieutenant Mark coming from the bridge of the U.S.S. Dingwall, and we've recently received a transmission. Where is it? There's the main viewer, right over there. We received a transmission of something called Star Trek Lower Decks. I have no idea what Star Trek is, but I did watch it. I watched the Lower Deck program that we received, and I must say, if you compare it to the last few programs we'd be receiving on comms here, Picard and Discovery. I don't know who the hell Picard is, and I don't remember anything about a U.S.S. Discovery. But those shows made me want to kill myself, and Lower Decks made me want to watch a little bit more. Um, it's looking like a 6.5 out of 10, which is the same score I would maybe give to the absolute best episodes of Discovery or Picard, to be honest. Um, I came away from it not super enthused, but I came away not sick or angry. I came away from an episode of Picard sick. Like, I felt sick to my stomach. But coming away from Lower Decks, I just kind of felt like myself. So things tend to really only get worse in life. So if they stay the same, that's a good thing. Uh, I noticed that the animation was not garbage. You know, I like good animation, and I found that the animation in Lower Decks didn't look extremely stiff. The characters kind of felt a little bit organic in the way they moved. They had a little bit of a geometry to them, as did the Cerritos. The hero ship of Lower Decks is the U.S.S. Cerritos, and I must say, it is the best ship between Discovery and Picard. It's the best ship I've ever seen, even though it's ugly and bad. It blows the USS Discovery out of the water. It blows the La Serena from Picard out of the water. You know, the Frankenstrat one. Uh, Put it up on the main viewer if you want to know why I call it the Frankenstrat. But the Cerritos actually has an MSD. Honest to God, go watch the first episode of Lower Decks, and there is a Master Systems display. And what that means is that the people who created this show, or at the very least created the Cerritos, actually thought about the deck plans. And if you compare that to Discovery, they have no idea what's going on with the deck plans. They just don't know. It's the deck plans in Discovery are just whatever the writers wanted it to be in each individual episode, and it totally took me out of it. Being an engineer here on the USS Dingwall, I'm acutely aware of strange engineering flubs that appear in these shows, and frankly, I just don't believe that the USS Discovery can exist in 3D space. There's no way. There's no way you can have a turbo lift flying around in voluminous empty caverns inside the Discovery when space is at a premium. You know, deck plans made no sense, but the deck plans kind of do make a little bit of sense in Lower Decks, and that alone has got me interested in completing the series. That's pathetic, isn't it? It's pathetic when just having a competently designed ship is enough. Like just asking for competency. I just want to get it to a 5 out of 10. Can we get to a 5 out of 10, guys? Can we get that far? Can we get to 50%? If we can get to 50%, I'm watching. Okay? So, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm just being honest about the fact that I like Lower Decks more. And watch what happens now. Watch. We'll get to episode 3 and Lower Decks will just turn into an absolute nightmare. But I thought the characters were okay. You know, I mean, Mariner is an obvious standout as being terrible. Mariner is the worst character by far, but Boimler's alright, and Rutherford's alright, and I like Tendi. But Mariner, if Mariner goes on a character arc that fixes her by the end of it, it'll be pretty cool if she comes around and embraces what it means to really be in Starfleet. But right now, she doesn't seem to care too much about Starfleet, to be honest, and their behavior. I mean, in the first scene, she cuts into Boimler's leg with a batleth. You know, and to be fair, nothing else in the entire episode is as bad as the opening stinger. So, if you can almost just skip the opening and go straight to the intro, you would almost be having more fun with Lower Decks. Whoever came up with that intro was dumb. They were straight dumb, yo. Whoever came up with that intro, where they thought it was okay for a Starfleet officer to cut into the flesh of another officer with a batleth and think it's funny, like, and play it for like laughs, like it's gross. But yeah. Not wanting to spoil too much, but there's a reason why Mariner gets away with a bunch of nonsense, and it's not good and doesn't fit in with the universe of Star Trek. But again, we're only looking for 50% here. We're looking for just competent. We're looking for just competent Star Trek. Okay? And I will be watching the rest of this series. So, episode 1 deals with Boimler going down to a planet, getting full of muck, basically, and then the muck that comes off the weird spider cow thing manages to heal the disease that Ransom brought on board from a flybite, and somehow that went unnoticed at first. That little flybite somehow turned the entire crew of the Cerritos into zombies. But Boimler inadvertently saved the day by being full of spider cow mucus that they used to neutralize the zombie virus. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, and I've seen some shit on the Dingwall, but even that was a little bit far-fetched for me. But it worked out story-wise. There was a couple dumb moments, like how I guess the characters took their uniforms off and set the uniforms up to look like dummies to trick the spider, which I don't think would work in reality. That seemed a little far-fetched. That kind of took me out of it. But that, for me, that was the low point. Taking off the uniforms was the low point, and the other almost as low point was the intro being cut by a batleth. Boimler was cut in the leg by a batleth, and it's as dumb as you think it is. But keep watching, guys. I guess this episode I'm saying 6.5 out of 10. I've been thinking about it since and not wanting to die. So this has been Lieutenant Mark signing out, and I'm going back to my job here on the bridge, and the captain's looking at me right now like I'm crazy. And see you guys later.